we're gonna talk about the metaphysics of having a twin. All right, everybody knows a set of twins, at least one. Me personally, I don't know if it's like something, well, I already know it's got something to do with who I am metaphysically, but I attract a lot of pairs of twins. Like this, I mean, everything has to do with something about who you are metaphysically, so really that goes without saying. But I guess because of what kind of teacher I am, a lot of the time I come across twins because twins, let me just start, let me slow down, let's get it going real quick, hold on. All right, so number one, there's actually a thing where you can be a twin, but y'all aren't born at the same time, okay? So let's make that clear. Anything is possible, first of all, and you need to know that everything is based off of the situation and the needs of somebody's spirit, soul, spirit. Yes, there's a difference between soul and spirit, but down here on this third dimensional plane, soul is individual and spirit is kind of like the family that you come from. That's the easiest way for me to explain it. So keep that in mind. These spirits need certain levels of healing or learning that need to occur in a given lifetime, right? So this is what's happening. Somebody who's a part of a certain spirit family has certain levels of weaknesses or some kind of learning that they got to do. So somebody got to learn, say, 3 lifetimes worth of lessons, right? It's easier to do that in more than one body than it would be to just live and have all of that hardship and all of that joy and pain happen in one person, because they'll probably be an unbalanced person. Somebody who has a lot to learn, oftentimes they're pretty unstable. You know, it just makes sense. So what I'm explaining to you all is that there's somebody down here, if they're on a individual standpoint of I have a body and my duplicate has a body, they might be seen as a duplicate, but truth be told, I mean, there is no such thing as an exact duplicate of anything. So anything that's naturally occurring, there's going to be variations. So if you have a hard time telling identical twins apart, it might be a third eye chakra thing, because for me, I can always tell twins apart. Anyway, so if you're paying attention to the weaknesses that they have, because like I said, you have a lot to learn if you got a twin. If you are learning all this stuff in one lifetime, right, you and your twin are probably going to bump heads a lot, because you're going to do your best to try to learn this all in one lifetime. Realistically, it doesn't normally happen. You're probably going to have to come back here a few times to get this junk right, which that's most people in general, right? Like, most people are not about to solve planet Earth in one go. Okay, nobody is really, so it's okay, but you got to recognize that people who have twins have the highest potential in a given lifetime, because of the fact that you can basically be in 2 places at once. And I'm not even talking about triplets and, you know, other sets of multiples, but it's basically the same thing. It's like, in order for you to learn the maximum amount of lessons, in order for you to maximize how much you're learning, you're able to be in more than one place at once in life, so that you can be experiencing more than one human experience at a time. And mind you, it's bigger than just you being here and your twin being there, but this is also a thing in other dimensions. So when you think about the fact that you got 2 bodies that you're living in at once, and you're learning every moment of the lifetimes that these bodies are allowing you to live in, you're living in 2 lifetimes in this world. In another version of Earth, you're living 2 lifetimes. In another Earth, you're living 2 lifetimes. So you can learn a heck of a lot more. I mean, way more when you got a twin as a superpower, mind you. Superpower. That's really like a heck of a superpower. So if you don't get along with your twin, you need to figure out how to. Because thing number one, all of this stuff, it has to do with getting to know thyself. So if you really are like enemies with your twin, say you got an evil twin, right? Some people real deal got evil twins. All right, you're gonna have to learn cyclomancy. You're gonna have to control their mind at some point to be able to get them on the path of getting along with you and learn how to love you, aka love yourself. All of this is a reflection of you. It goes even deeper than just twins. All this stuff is a reflection of ourselves. But when you look in the eyes of your twin, right, what do you see? Do you see yourself? I bet you would have a hard time saying yes to that. But if you are at the point where you're pretty egoless, or should I say have an evolved ego, it's pretty easy to tell that this person is clearly you, whether y'all were born at the same time or not, right? It's pretty easy to tell somebody who's a part of your soul group, your spirit family and whatnot, whenever you have expanded your consciousness and you tune into your spirituality in the right ways. But if you have a hard time even identifying with somebody who's clearly your own bloodline, like, you got some deeper issues, bro. You got some inner chakra work to do for sure, which everybody does, at least in the beginning, because of how distracting we can be, or how distracted we can be in the world and stuff. But when you have a twin, you got to make sure that you're being very patient with them, because in the beginning it might feel like, or they might feel like, heck, you might feel like there's something missing from you, and it might be because in your physical vessel you decided to incarnate in a lifetime where you're going to have to go through some lack in a way, because I mean, truth be told, you're supposed to be just one, right? You're supposed to be one person, but because of the traumas that you experienced in past lifetimes, and basically the reason why you would incarnate into having a twin is because you have so many traumas that you have to heal from, that it's easier to do it when you have multiple different perspectives, right? All of this is about just having a point of view. So, I mean, basically, if instead of you having 360 degrees of a perspective, which would be in one person, you really got 720 degrees of a perspective to have. So, you know, you have automatically a multi-dimensional point of view, because you having an identical twin or even a fraternal twin, it really don't matter. If you got a twin, you can really get their point of view on anything, and they should be able to very easily and unbiasedly give you their perspective, and I guarantee you it's going to be at least slightly different than yours. Bro, that's a superpower if I never even thought of one, because you came in this place with a friend, with an ally, with somebody who's supposed to look out for you. And I mean, for the love of God, if y'all ain't looking out for each other, then y'all need help, for real. Like, y'all need to have a sit down and talk about your feelings. If y'all been through so much stuff to where y'all just like can't with each other, sometimes it is a thing. Like, I've come across, like I said, I probably done came across 200 sets of twins in my life. It's crazy. I got them in my family and everything. If I had kids, I'll probably have twins. But a lot of the time, it is a thing for you all to have to learn the separation thing also, because it is very common for twins to get too attached to each other. Because y'all have been here together and y'all are so familiar with each other, a lot of the time twins be afraid to live alone. Twins be afraid to go on their own path and stuff like that. But bruh, that's really what has to happen here. Two things that have to happen. You have to learn to trust each other, and you have to learn to trust yourselves as individuals while you're here too. So you have to be willing to move the hell away from each other in order to learn life and figure out life like we would. We being singles, you know, like single people, individual people. So if you have a hard time accepting the fact that your twin is away, or for example, when one of them passes away, right? Because one of y'all gonna die first. Let's be realistic. Everybody dies here. So at some point, somebody's gonna die. If you were way too overly attached to your twin, when they die, your world's gonna be crushed. And needless to say, if you're too attached to anything on this earth, you're gonna have to come back numerous times to solve that problem, because you were spending too much in that chakra. All this stuff is really just chakras. I'm trying not to get too like occult with the terminology and stuff, or not necessarily too occult, but I'm trying to make sure anybody can understand this. So I'm sure you know a pair of twins, right? Tell me something. Are they the exact same personality? Of course not, right? It don't matter if they look exactly the same. Even if you, for some strange reason, you just can't make out the differences between these two. That's cool, but you, as somebody who is looking at other pairs of twins, you need to be able to identify them as individuals while they're here, because it does something to their psychology. If somebody is talking to somebody who's a twin, and they're basically like being treated as if they're just a number, right? If you're just treating them as if they're just another person, aka, y'all the same thing, like whoever you are, like which one are you again? Like, if you start doing them like that, they're not gonna, I mean, first of all, if somebody started treating you like that, would you be okay with it? If somebody started looking at you and they just categorized you based off of a couple characteristics and they think you're the same person, if they started stereotyping you and stuff like that, of course you wouldn't like that. You would feel like subhuman, really. So it's a really big deal for us to make sure that we're very patient and gentle with these twins, because they are here with a larger amount of lessons to learn in this given lifetime. Now, don't sleep, because next lifetime your ass could be a twin if you ain't getting your stuff together. And like I told you, because they have all of these multiple perspectives, they could really leap ahead of you on some intelligent stuff. So keep that in mind. If you got any questions or anything on this subject, feel free to drop them down in the comment section, of course. And I just wanted to mention that I got a couple people who actually got my gears turning as far as like continuing to develop this channel. So I want to shout out Ambrose, and I definitely want to shout out my man Cole, right? Because I got these guys managed to get in contact with me through Instagram, and they're like, hey man, like they basically asked me why you stopped making videos. I didn't necessarily stop completely, but they inspired me to get it back going again. So yeah, shout out to you guys. I got a lot going on in my life, so just be patient with me. But see, I'm coming with these videos, so hey, when I'm coming with them, you got to support, you dig? This is clearly a very valuable channel on YouTube, right? I don't want to stop doing it. I'm not gonna stop doing it, but it definitely helps when I get that gratification of, oh, this is getting more views, or oh, this is getting thumbs up, oh, they're sharing the video, oh, they're subscribing, stuff like that. So do your part as a part of this community, and share my videos and subscribe, and you know, like, put your friends on. If your friends are into stuff like this, which if you're into stuff like this, you should definitely be on the wavelength with other people who are into, you know, metaphysics, spirituality, occultism, magic, all that spooky stuff, you know? Because we clearly are magical gods here, and we can do whatever the heck we want. So, that being said, hope this was a bit enlightening, and until next time, take care.